Hello, I'm Erik Robey.
And I'm Karla Schaffer, and this is Anne Arundel County Week in Review. Today we'll talk with a coach and star running back of the state champion Old Mill Patriots, and we'll take a look at senior citizens with talent. But first, the last remains of Tropical Storm Lee were removed from Fort Smallwood Park this week as staff from Recreation and Parks took a day to clear more than 180 cubic feet, or 6 full dumpsters of debris. Director Rick Anthony decided that instead of hiring a contractor to make it a day trip for the department. Employees came to work at the park armed with work gloves and cleared a completely covered beachfront. They got it all done in one day and saved anywhere from $25,000 to $50,000 in the process. County Executive Leopold paid a visit to the crew as they cleared the beach, blasting Christmas music and taking a break to celebrate with hamburgers and hot dogs on the grill. They even managed to wish Director Rick Anthony a happy birthday with a cake. County Executive Leopold said of the effort, "Our employees demonstrated today that we can accomplish a task successfully and also save money. The team should be recognized for getting the job done in one day to benefit one of our best parks." Carolyn Ryan was there to document the day and filed this report. Carolyn?
We're all familiar with the old adage, where there's a will, there's a way. Well, it's very evident out here today at Fort Smallwood Park. I'm here with the Director of Recreation and Parks, and you've got the staff out here cleaning the beach.
That's right, Carolyn. We decided that we were going to take matters in our own hand. We got the early estimates of the cost that it would take to clean the debris from the storms, and they came in around $25,000 to $50,000. And as you know, every cent counts. So we decided that the whole staff can pitch in and team up to clean up.
Now, how did you encourage the office staff to come out here and do this today?
Well, we just put the note. We didn't make it mandatory. Obviously, there are other folks that have to cover in different positions, but we have enough enthusiastic employees here that I believe that they take it personal and they feel like this is our department, this is our property, and we want to have the best reflection for the public. So it really wasn't hard. We have the motivated folks that are here, and obviously the other ones that are dedicated with holding down the fort while we all come out and make the sacrifices to get this job done.
Great. Well, you talk about you mentioned the storms. Now, tell us exactly how is the debris different this year than it has been in the past?
Well, there is this tropical storm Irene, I believe, was the one that really did the most damage, and there's some indication that it was because of the dam that was opened further up in Virginia. But I mean, everywhere in Anne Arundel County has been hit hard with debris, and what you see here now is just a fraction of the way it looked initially. We've already took out a lot of bulk items, from tires to trash, and as you can see now, we're dealing with the wood. But it was just really a very intimidating job, one that I felt like we just couldn't leave to our maintenance staff. And it feels good. We're out here, we got music out here, it's a good time. A lot of these folks haven't even been to this park, so they're excited about getting out of the office and enjoying a day, and we got good weather today, so there's no complaints so far.
Yeah. Well, it looks like a real dedicated team effort out here.
Yeah, it is, and like I said, I mean, we even got Franklin Cheney out here, even though he doesn't have the proper gloves on, as you know, but he has the Redskin gloves today, but he's out here doing a good job. So the administrators, the staff, the secretaries, everybody's out here pitching in, and overall, I mean, we might continue to do this because I'm actually enjoying it.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you so much, Carolyn.
Come on out and visit Fort Smallwood Park and the newly cleaned up beach. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Carolyn. The weather cooperated and workers said they enjoyed working on the banks of the Chesapeake Bay, which offers quite a view.
Well, Karla, we see employees doing great things like this all the time. But because they do this because they want to help the citizens and keep an eye on the pocketbooks of the county as well, we appreciate their work. In a couple weeks, we're going to be talking about the Maryland General Assembly coming back into session. And we got an exclusive photo of preliminary talks between County Executive Leopold and House Speaker Mike Bush. We should have a caption contest for this one. Comment under this episode if you have one, and maybe we'll give you a special prize. Now let's move on to a big story that has been going on for some time, which is the comprehensive zoning process. For those of you keeping score at home, we're about to enter the final phase of rezoning. This week, County Executive John Leopold vetoed 3 amendments to the upzoning proposals that affected Pasadena and Glen Burnie. Our own Dave Abrams caught up with County Executive Leopold to find out more. Dave.
Erik and Karla were out at Fort Smallwood Park with County Executive Leopold, and a perfect location to talk about an issue that a lot of residents have been following, all the zoning debates in the county. And we're about to wrap it up. We're getting to the end of the line. Tell our viewers about, what action you took this week with regard to zoning.
Well, I wanted to veto the whole bill. If I had found 3 councilmen that would have been willing to sustain a veto of the entire bill, because I was very upset about what happened with the Long Hill Road zoning issue. There's a case where even though technically it was okay for the professionals in planning and zoning to have an R15 zoning, and based on what happened with the change in the land use map, 390 more apartments near Long Hill Road, 700 or 800 more automobiles, and you just can't look at these changes in a vacuum. You've got to look at the broad picture. And if you look at the broad picture, the traffic on Mountain Road is already horrendous. We've got to do something about that. Over the years, and I'm not just talking about the last several years, but over the last several decades, all these developments have taken place. All this building has occurred without the road improvements to accommodate that new growth. And so even though I was hoping that the council would act on an amendment which I offered, unfortunately it failed 3-3. This would have gone back to R1 zoning, which was the proper action. I was very disappointed that the council did not do that. But knowing that I did not have the 3 votes to sustain a veto of the entire bill, I decided to line item veto several amendments, which are also egregious examples of spot zoning.
Now, I understand you took a little bit of a different approach than a lot of our members of the council and others took to zoning. You actually went out to each site, and this was in South County and Annapolis and up here. Tell us about that.
I didn't go to all of them, obviously, but I did go to some that I had questions about. There's no substitute for actually being on the site, talking to the neighbors, finding out what their views were, looking at the exact parcel that was to be rezoned. I did that on a number of occasions. And as I say, there's no substitute for on-site inspection before you make these very important decisions. Now, I think it's also important for our listeners to know that while I line item vetoed several amendments, I also introduced legislation to deal with the aggregate impact of all this traffic in a given area. So we've expanded the area in Pasadena where when a developer comes in and tries to get permits for a certain building, certain development, that he now must show a broader impact, what the impact will be on a broader area. And I think that'll give the planning and zoning officers the tools to reject some of these projects if they don't provide the necessary traffic improvements.
Yeah, obviously, folks who live up in North County are familiar with Mountain Road, and I mean, what's it like there at 5 o'clock at night, down in the end of the peninsula there on Mountain Road?
Well, I can just tell you that 30 years ago when I was first elected to the House of Delegates, and I'd get out on Route 100 at 7 o'clock in the morning, it was no big deal. There's not that much traffic. Today, you're out there at 5:30, 5:45, it's almost bumper to bumper. So the growth has really swamped the area, not only Mountain Road, but also Fort Smallwood Road. The Fort Smallwood Road, Hogneck Road intersection, it's a lot of traffic out there at all times of the day. And so it's very important that if we're going to allow this development, we make sure that the road improvements are there. Now, in terms of money for road improvements, I've used impact fee money to make certain improvements in Pasadena. For example, at the intersection of Route 100 and Magothy Bridge Road, I had an extra lane put in there to help ease some of that congestion. 3 years ago, the state of Maryland gave us $30 million for road improvements. This year, they gave us $800,000. So from $30 million to $800,000. And when you look at the local highway user revenues, in the last 15 years, there's been over $1 billion in highway user revenues that have been transferred out of the Transportation Trust Fund into the general fund to help balance the budget. None of that money has been returned. When newspapers articles will report, oh, they've returned all the money, well, they've returned what's called the state allocation of that money, not the local highway user revenues. So we're really at a bad point here in terms of our ability to fund these improvements. In Washington right now, as we speak, there's legislation going through Congress that would enable the roads around Fort Meade to get more money. The House had a provision in it which was helpful to get this money. The Senate did not. I've written to the senators on the Senate Armed Services Committee urging them to accept the House language so that the roads around Fort Meade can be taken care of.
Well, hopefully they'll listen. County Executive Leopold, thanks for being with us.
Always a pleasure.
And Erik and Karla will go back to you in the studio.
Let me ask: Is Erik still looking at those scores? I mean, is he got all those notes taken?
I hope so.
Erik, do you have all those scores properly recorded? I'm going to be watching.
Of course, I'm going to give you all the scores, County Executive, but you just got to stay tuned. It's a little later in the show.
Well, there's more Week in Review to come, including our interview with Rob Chesson and Coach Chad McCormick. Take a look at the community calendar for what's happening around the county. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
It's cold and flu season, and the last thing you want is to be sick or make others sick. So here's what you do to stop germs and stay healthy. Cover your coughs. Wash your hands after sneezing, coughing, or blowing your nose. Wash with warm water and soap for 20 seconds, and then dry. When you can't wash your hands, use an alcohol-based sanitizer. If you do get sick, stay home. Stop germs, stay healthy.
Welcome back. Well, we have a real treat for you today, viewers. We have Coach Chad McCormick and star running back Rob Chesson of Old Mill High School, the state championship football team. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So tell us about that championship game.
You know, that game was an incredible football game. First of all, I think it was the two best teams in the state of Maryland in the public schools, and it was a true war from wire to wire. And you know, we suffered quite a bit of adversity in that game, being down 21-0. And a credit to guys like Rob Chesson and the rest of the team and the coaches. We hung in there tough, and we were able to get into overtime and pull it out late.
Well, this was a huge, huge year for you guys. Coach McCormick, a rookie head coach coming in, first season, you win your state championship. Let's go way back. I want to talk about that first game against Broadneck. You guys only beat Broadneck 10-0. What did you learn from that game that helped you guys the rest of the season? You know,
Broadneck's a great football team, and Coach Rob Harris does a great job over there, so we knew it was going to be a real strong defense. We had some opportunities. You know, it was 10-0. Rob had a touchdown, which he would have had another one. It was called back on a hold. But you know what I mean? That was one of those tight football games early, and it let us know that we could compete and win. And for us, that was a really important game because the year before, they had beaten us in the playoffs and knocked us out after we played them in week 10, and we had a real great game against them, and then to lose in week 11, that was probably one of the most painful losses in Old Mill history. And to be able to come back week 1, you know, that was a great win for us.
And Rob, tell us how it felt to score that 2-point conversion at the very end of the championship game.
It felt amazing. It was the best feeling of my life. You know, Coach put his trust in hands, and he put the ball in my hands, and it paid off, and I got the 2-point conversion.
And it was just right up the road at M&T Bank Stadium, so I'm sure you had a lot of people from school there in the stands, a lot of fans.
Thousands of fans.
What's school been like since you've been back?
School been amazing. I got a lot of kids, you know, coming up to me like, you know, congratulations, Rob. You know, y'all did a really good job, and that means a lot that they came out and support us, and they know that, you know, they have been watching us over the, you know.
Well, Rob, you had a fabulous year. We talk about you on our other show, the Gridiron Review, quite a bit, and all the touchdowns you scored. 47, 48 touchdowns?
49.
49 touchdowns, that's right. 48 rushing touchdowns, and then one receiving, or was it a run back? Was it a kick return?
Punt return.
Yeah. Punt return touchdown.
Punt return.
So that has set a state record for you. You've gotten a lot of honors. You got the Jim Rhodes Trophy. The Capital Gazette named you Player of the Year. But what's the biggest honor so far? What's really going to stick out in your mind, you know, 6 months from now when high school football is just a memory?
Everything that I accomplished, you know, besides everything that I've, you know, went through. But I know that I've been working my tail off, and I know that that's the biggest thing, you know, that I'm proud of right now. So I'm proud of all my accomplishments, but you know, I'm thankful that all my hard work has been paying off over the past, you know, years that I've been in high school. So I'm very thankful for that.
And you've gotten a lot of college offers so far. I understand Old Dominion, Towson, a few schools are really looking at you. Have you made any kind of decisions yet?
No, I haven't made no decisions yet. It's like a split. You know, I'm still trying to find the best fit for me. I got to go out and take some visits, you know, do my research. So until then, you know, I'm going to keep my options open and stay, you know, stay humble.
Yeah. And Coach, how do you come back from this year? I mean, you're a rookie head coach. Coach Ferragamo, of course, 2 years ago won the state championship for Old Mill. You come back first season at Old Mill, you win a state championship. How do you get these guys up to play again next year?
You know, obviously at Old Mill there's a tradition of football, and we've been in the playoffs 13 straight years. And I said coming in that I wanted to compete at the state level each year. And, you know, first year to go out and to win every single game, you know, it's an unbelievable year. And, you know, now the challenge goes to the younger guys in the program and the guys that are returning and the freshmen and the sophomores that are coming up from JV. You know, they have to continue this tradition. As coaches, we're going to put in the time and the work, and those young guys, just like Rob did as a sophomore and as a freshman, you know, they're going to live in the weight room in the spring and the summer, and they're going to become as big and fast and as strong as they can, and then they're going to be very coachable young men, and we're going to make another run at it.
And as a coach in building that program in high school and much like college as well, you know, you lose those players. You have a guy for 2-3 years and then they're gone, and then you got to build others. How are you with working with the feeder systems, working with the Gorks, the PALs, the organization, the youth football organizations in the area to make sure these kids want to come to Old Mill and not go off to the private
You know,
schools?
we have a great youth organization, the Old Mill Youth Association. And one thing, I've got to talk to them a little bit. Not as much as I would like to, and I'm going to get more involved. But one of my assistant coaches, my JV head coach, Jim Grimm, who's the head wrestling coach at Old Mill right now, he coaches for one of the youth teams, and we've had a great relationship with the youth teams. We had a youth football night, which each team came out to one of our games, one of our home games, and you know all the players got to shake hands as they walk down the track, and we got some information sent out to all the youth programs, and there was a great showing from that level at the state championship game. A lot of the kids you looked up, they were in their jerseys. So I think, you know, for those young guys, they see how strong and how proud of a tradition that we have, and I think they're going to be excited when they get to the high school level and get to play for us.
Yeah.
And Coach, what has this done to invigorate Old Mill? How is the atmosphere
You know,
changed?
just at school, it really does. You know, it's not just a football program. It's the whole school community is lifted up by accomplishing some of this. It was the same in 2009. You know, everybody feels a part of it. You know, there's the football players, but the whole school. It's really an honor for the entire school. And they came on the announcements Monday when we come back, and they've done it several times, and they say, when they do the morning announcements, they say, "Good morning, state champions." And you know, that involves everybody, and everybody feels so proud of what was accomplished. And you know, we were glad that we had a part in really bringing something great to our school community.
Well, congratulations to both you guys. I know it's been a couple weeks since the championship game here, but I'm sure, at least for Rob, the memories are still there. That season, your last season as a senior playing at Old Mill High School, putting on the #1 jersey for the Patriots. It's in the books, but bigger and better things to you. Best of luck as you make your decision on college to attend, and I'm sure we'll have you on our college signing show. We do a football college signing show, so we'll be seeing you back soon. Coach, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Great rookie season. You've done something that Coach Harbaugh up there at M&T Bank Stadium hasn't been able to do, win that championship in his first year.
Yeah.
There you have it, folks. The state champion Old Mill Patriots. These guys have done a phenomenal job going 14-0 in football this season, and we'll see them back again next year, I'm sure, right at the cream, right at the top of Anne Arundel County football. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Once they've outgrown their toddler seat, they're still not ready for adult safety belts alone. 4'9" is the magic number. Until then, kids need a booster seat. Make sure your little pumpkin gets there safely. Visit boosterseat.gov.
Welcome back. We want to also welcome those of you who are watching us on Facebook. And if you are, share this page with your friends. And while you're online, you also have a different kind of gift that you can check out for this holiday season. The 9/11 Memorial in Millersville is giving folks one more chance to buy inscribed bricks to pay tribute to our first responders and our troops. All you have to do is go to AnneArundelArtsCouncil.org and download an order form. The Memorial Committee decided to allow final orders after people missed the previous deadline. I have a brick, and you can too, but don't forget, because this might be the last chance, and they won't take orders after January 15th. We also heard this week that photos of our memorial will be included in a book published by the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey. Like hundreds of other memorials around our country, our memorial features steel from the World Trade Center.
In this week's Hot Topics, the Anne Arundel County Fire Department responded to more than 1,400 calls for service. This included more than 1,100 emergency medical calls and 100 fire calls. This week, 3 people were injured at 2 separate house fires in the county. With us now to tell us more about these incidents is Division Chief Michael Cox of the Anne Arundel County Fire Department. Chief?
Thanks, Karla. Around 1:37 a.m. on Sunday, December the 11th, 2011, Anne Arundel County firefighters responded to a reported garage fire in the 1700 block of Friar Court in the Crofton area of the county. First unit to arrive on the scene reported an attached garage fully engulfed in flames with extension into a 2-story single-family dwelling. At that time, additional resources were requested and an interior fire attack was initiated by the first arriving crews. In all, it took more than 50 firefighters from Anne Arundel and Prince George's counties about 45 minutes to bring the 2-alarm incident under control. There were 3 people home at the time of the fire. All 3 of the occupants were able to escape prior to the arrival of the fire department. 2 of the occupants, a male and a female, who were estimated to be in their mid to late 50s, were transported to Baltimore Washington Medical Center. In this case, the male occupant suffered minor burns and the female occupant suffered a medical emergency during the incident. The fire caused an estimated $450,000 in damages. The exact cause of the fire remains under investigation. In a second incident this week, Anne Arundel County firefighters responded to a second reported dwelling fire in the Millersville area of the county on Sunday, December the 11th, 2011. This incident occurred just after 10 p.m. in the 700 block of Mattawa Court. The first arriving firefighters in this case reported fire coming from the roof and attic area of a 2-story split foyer type home. Firefighters quickly initiated an interior fire attack, and water for firefighting operations was drawn from a nearby creek as there are no fire hydrants in this area of the county. In all, it took 30 firefighters about 30 minutes to bring the 1-alarm incident under control. There was 1 occupant, a 65-year-old female, home during the time of the fire. She suffered 1st and 2nd degree burns to approximately 35% of her body. She was transported to the burn unit at Johns Hopkins Bayview Hospital in Baltimore via Maryland State Police helicopter. Karla?
Thanks, Chief. County fire investigators have determined that the cause of the second fire was accidental. In this case, it appears that part of a match used to light a candle was inadvertently dropped, igniting some nearby materials. Damage estimates for this fire were about $350,000. It's a lot of money.
A lot of money. Be safe out there. It's the holiday season.
People forget that, it's a beautiful season, but it's a little hazardous too. You have trees, which are a fire hazard, so remember to water those trees. Unplug your lights.
Candles. Everybody likes to use candles
That's right.
around the holiday season, and be careful with them, and don't let the kids have the candles. They can look at it. It's nice to look at, but keep them back at a safe distance. Yeah. When Santa comes around on the fire truck, I know he's going to be coming to a lot of communities in the next couple of days, in the next couple of weeks here. Be safe. Stay back from Santa. Let Santa stop, and then your kids can go see him. But people, holiday season, you get a lot on your mind. There's a lot of things. What gift am I going to get for this person? Did I get my online order in on time to get it shipped by Christmas? So, pay attention when you're out there on the roads. I've seen a lot of accidents in the last few days, a lot of bad accidents.
Yeah, especially yesterday, there were a lot of accidents. I know you were stuck in one yourself.
I was stuck in one, 5 cars behind, the medevac landed. We wish the best for the individual that was involved in that accident on 97 yesterday afternoon. But just, be safe out there. Be safe, and, don't let the hubbub of the holiday season distract you from doing what's always right.
Everybody's rushing around.
That's right.
Well, if you watch American Idol or America's Got Talent or X Factor, we've got some folks for you to meet. Our own Mary Felter stopped by our Senior Showstoppers. Take it away, Mary.
Thank you, Karla. Many of you out there are fans of America's Got Talent, that television show, and we have some people that are possibly going to be on it. They've auditioned for it, and I thought we would find out a little bit more about the Showstoppers from South County. Welcome to the program, Joanne DeWild.
Thank you, Mary. Nice to be here.
Joanne is the director of the South County Showstoppers, and I'm going to ask her first a little bit about the history of the group.
Well, Vicki Smith started the group in 2007, and she got really busy with her own studio called Stageworks. So she stepped down and I stepped up, and we've been going strong for about 4.5 years.
Tell me, who's in the group? I see the ladies dancing behind us, but tell us a little bit more about the group, and men and women, ages.
Well, we have men and women, yes, mostly women. We have a handful of men that we value greatly. We have now about 50-some members. We started out with just a handful, so we've really grown. And the group behind me are my belly dancers called the Sultry Sirens. I do teach belly dancing in addition to directing the Showstoppers. But we have a lot of different acts. We have line dancers and tap dancers. We have solo acts, hulas, comedy, all kinds of, just a big variety show.
Tell me some of the places that you have performed. I know it's you've even gotten a governor's award for your accomplishments.
Yes, we did. We're very proud of that. We received the Governor's Award and the Leadership of Aging, Department of Aging, for Best Performing Arts in 2011. And we've been to 6 counties so far and plan to do more in the 2012 year. And we do venues like a lot of nursing homes and assisted living and independent facilities. But we do a lot more than that. We've danced at the Anne Arundel County Fair. We've also danced at places like for class reunions, Elks Clubs, Lions Clubs, organizations, and Anne Arundel County retired teachers. They ask us and we're there.
I understand that you've got something coming up with the National Association of Retired and Federal Employees.
We do. This will be a first for us, dancing for them, and they came to check us out and like what they saw, and we'll be dancing at the Elks in Annapolis for them, and that's going to be on the 28th of December.
Tell me how America's Got Talent found out about you.
Okay, well, I thought our director was kidding me, teasing me, and they had to convince me that it was for real. And they sent, America's Got Talent sent a talent scout out from LA and to do some research, and she was looking around, and on the website she found a lot of articles about the Showstoppers. We've been in the paper about 10 times and also in different magazines, and she saw our name come up a lot and she contacted us. So our tap group, and we have a tap group, and then we had a solo tapper, and she's Flo Keeney is our solo tapper, and Sensations, South County Sensations is the tap group. And they all tried out on video, and we were going to send that in and hopefully make the cut. I had to pick from some of the group. I couldn't do everybody, so we just picked the ones that we thought maybe had a shot that would be a little bit different.
Have you heard back yet?
Not yet. We actually went through the video last week. We spent an hour and a half cutting and pacing together, and we're going to go one more time to go through the final tape, and then we're sending that in. And then we just wait and cross our fingers.
Well, I want to congratulate you very much for getting on the America's Got Talent list, and we wish you the best. Keep us informed.
Thank you, Mary, and we'll let you know.
This is Mary Felter, Public Information Officer for the Anne Arundel County Department of Aging and Disabilities, and I think I want to start dancing with this group. They've got a lot of energy. Back to you, Karla.
Thanks, Mary. So, Erik, what's your talent?
Oh my gosh, I'm nowhere near as good as these folks there. Talent, gosh, that's a good, I really don't have many talents, but, well, there was one time, took a cruise with some friends, and they dared me to join the belly flop competition. And I won.
You won?
I won the belly flop
What'd you
competition.
Win? Other than the honor of
the king of the ship.
King of the belly flops.
I got a ship on a stick is what they called it. So it was a little trophy. They awarded me with that. So it was, I treasure that trophy because it was, my one. No, I'm just kidding. I was very, very honored and very happy. But I don't have any talents. I'm just a
Hopefully
guy.
we can find that picture of the belly flop contest for our viewers.
Oh no, I don't think they'd want to see that. They don't want to see that, Karla. They want to see sports. They want to talk about real sports. Belly flopping. I want it to be an Olympic sport, but it's not. Good day, sports fans. Well, a short report this week with some basketball action to talk about. High school hoops was in full swing this week as the Northeast Eagles hit the court to take on the Falcons from Severna Park. Marcus Denty and the Northeast Eagles picked up win number 1 on the young season, but they needed overtime to beat those Falcons, and this is the first time they beat them in a number of years. Denty finished with a double-double, 15 points and 12 rebounds, and hit a free throw in overtime to win the game. Teammate Brandon O'Malley led all scorers with 17 points for Northeast. The Eagles moved to 1-2 on the year with a 46-45 win over Severna Park. Just down the road at Chesapeake, it's been a long time since the Cougars found the win column, 24 games to be exact. But that all changed on Tuesday as Adam Ritchie and Brad Fletcher scored 19 and 17 points to pick up a victory over Rockbridge Academy 86-26. Elsewhere, Southern beat Grace Academy 91-20. Annapolis Area Christian School moves to 3-3 on the season as they are unable to respond to a tough third quarter and lose to St. Paul's 71-65. Well, I told you it was going to be short. Everybody's got holiday shopping to do.
Yep.
So I figured, you know, all those guys out there, we're always last minute.
Red Friday's coming up, right, Erik?
That's why I got my blue tie on. It's not Red Friday yet, but next Friday you'll see a red tie on for Red Friday. It's starting to catch on.
Yeah?
Yeah, 3 people have said something about it, but you know. I'm trying to
They're
get
probably
this to
our
catch on.
Facebook fans.
They probably are. They probably
They've been watching the show.
So are you done your shopping?
I'm not done, actually. I have to,
so will
believe
you be
it or
out
not,
on Red
I have
Friday?
to go. Which one's Red Friday exactly?
The Friday before Christmas.
So this
so
Friday
that will be this Friday.
Or next Friday. I don't know. Regardless, no, I'm not done. I actually have to make a stop at the mall.
It'll be next Friday.
So, yeah. I'm hoping to finish this weekend, though. I just have a couple more things to
What'd
pick
you get
up,
for the
and
dog?
then I'll be done. I can't tell. He watches the show.
He'll tell him to close his ears,
all right,
cover his eyes. He won't
Thor,
see.
Close your ears. I got him a bone.
That's
and
nice.
And I got him
all dogs like bones.
A new rope toy to play with.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Thor, congratulations. You're a lucky dog out there. Everybody wants a bone. That's great. Well, good luck with your holiday shopping, and be safe when you're out there.
I
As
will.
we talked about those safe holiday tips. Make sure everybody's safe out there this season. If you see Santa, say hello to him, and hopefully he'll say ho, ho, ho back to you because you've been on the good list this year. Well, folks, that wraps up this week's edition of Week in Review. You can watch this episode online anytime at www.aacounty.org. Archive episodes are available at blip.tv and on YouTube. You can also subscribe to the free video podcast at iTunes, or you can like us on Facebook at Anne Arundel TV. Please tune in again next time for more highlights and news from around your county. We'll see you next time.